Classification can be described as the selection process for the headings under which documents are grouped or categorized before the filing takes place based on certain common features. So furthermore, the classification of files is a method by which documents and records are arranged into an organized structure so that they are very easy to locate. So meanwhile, for filing system, filing implies storing records in a secure location and being able to easily and rapidly locate them. Documents that are taken care by filing system cannot easily be torn, lost or dirty. So the central record keeping method of an organization is a filing system that allows you to be systematic, coordinated, efficient and transparent. It also allows doing so conveniently for all individuals who should be able to access the data in the information. So there are a few objectives of a filing system, which are to classify and arrange record properly so it will ease user or organization itself to find their information when it needed. So the classification records help to narrow down places where accurate information can reside. The next objective is filing system help in protecting documents against possible loss or damage, like disaster, like fires, floods, earthquake, bombing, and so on. Another objective of filing system also to provide a method of how to obtain information without wasting time. The proper filing system can help reduce the amount of time needed to find specific information or record when it needed. Also, the last one would be filing system helps in enabling records to be made easily available to use to framing and helps in doing plan or policies of a business or organizations.
The importance of filing system is firstly for reference, second for memory, the third one is for provide evidence, the fourth one is compliant with regulation, the fifth one is help in formulation of future planning, and the last one is easy to retrieve.
Classification and filing system is very important to organization. The correct way to handle the file is needed to ensure that the organization can become more efficient. The improper classification and filing system in organization can affect lots of things. For example, according to Robin James 2019, he says the impact improper of classification and filing system is the organization becomes inefficient. The signs that the management of record is not efficient is when lots of time waste for find one file. The error of the process in retrieve file can cause customer lose faith in the credibility of organization. Next, the impact of improper classification and filing system in organization is poor management decision making. Any decision in the organization, we need to refer to the file first. This action must be taken to ensure that the organization has do an accurate decision. The proper classification and filing system in organization is important to ensure that the organization can increase transparency and effective corporate governance. Lastly, according to Neil Kokimula 2016, the improper classification and filing system in organization can cause loose file. If the organization not using the effective filing system to keep the organization file, it will given a bad impact, especially when the customer have requested to the file. The losing file also can cause the organization lost information. The organization easily lose its customer if the organization didn't organize its customer file properly. Overall, the impact of improper classification and filing system in organization will have many adverse effects on the record management system in organization.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am SITI BINTI ZAIN and I will continue the presentation. Next, I want to talk about the current issues about the classification in filing system which happen in digital record nowadays. Nowadays, all the record have been digitalized on digital platform, especially in business and organization. Next, based on NAP, all the documents that had been digitalized nowadays are being redundant from day by day. This thing happened because the digital record and files can be easily to copy and writing by other people, and they will easily to self-claim the records and file are being created by them. Sometimes in the organization itself, there more one file are created in each place, and it being redundant from place to place. This thing will make the officer unable to detect the original file itself, because they did not know where the original files are being placed by the other people. Next, the current issues happen in classification and filing system nowadays. There are no more unique identifier are created for digital record and filing system. As we know, paper-based record have been improved their classification system, which by using the unique identifier for the files to easily retrieve the files and documents. For example, the unique identifier is a serial number, numbering, alphabet, and others. So the unique identifier are being created to ease the officer to retrieve all the files and record. Also, the files and record that been produced day by day are uncountable, and it will make the officer hard to retrieve all the files and record that been created. So the digital record nowadays had changed the unique identifier that being used for the paper-based record, because the unique identifier are no more used for digital record.
Universiti Malaysia Sabah was established on 24 November 1994. His Royal Highness the Yang di-Pertuan Agong proclaimed the establishment of Universiti Malaysia Sabah under Section C1 of the Universities and University College Act 1971. File and record management system used in Universiti Malaysia Sabah since 1995 has been using the file code system in alphabetical order. To improve file management is made more efficiently than division administration and governance, the Register Department has proposed that the system file classification using the concept of block numeric system was introduced for replacing the old file code system. Application of file has approved by the University Management Authority on 13 August 2010. The vision is UMS strive to be an innovative university of global standing, and the mission is UMS strive to achieve academic excellence and international recognition through its attention to learning and teaching, research and publication, social service, and balance in knowledge specialization. The university also prioritizes the personal growth of its students, resulting in greater innovation and productivity for the benefit of society as a whole. Universiti Malaysia Sabah is focusing on academic excellence in various chosen disciplines, uphold academic autonomy, and to maintain intellectual excellence in the university community, enhance ties between universities, industry, professionals, bodies, social organizations, and the government, contribute toward the dynamic socio-economic development of the nation. The last one is foster pride and prestige in the university as a premier progressive institution.
So, Universiti Malaysia Sabah UMS using ISO 1548989 as the guidance to establish the basic concepts and principles for record creation, capture, and management. The standard applies to record in all forms of business and technical environment and over time, regardless of structure or shape. This part of ISO provide guidance such as guidelines on assessing organization responsibilities for practices, procedures, structures, and process for documents and records.
File classification team. The registry department has established an action team committee task force consisting of administrative officer J/S/P/I/U responsible for developing the functional classification of UMS, together with the National Archive of Malaysia (ANM), responsible for compiling, updating and evaluating the arrangement of table, function, priorities and activities as well as the list of files in J/S/P/I/U UMS, as well as listing the key functions, sub-activities and identify files from the general to the most relevant. Building a thesaurus. Thesaurus is a list of terms developed for, control and standardize the use of term for each function, main activity, sub-activities and identify file. Avoid duplicate of meaning, avoid words that are not commonly used, review the need to create optional term, provide cross-reference requirement, avoid repeat use of word repeat at each qualification level.
Next, we move on to guide on how to do a file classification development. So it is started by function, activities, sub-activities and also files. Then it is sorted by hierarchy. The hierarchy should not exceed based on the 4 ratings, which is start from the function, followed by activities, then sub-activities, and lastly files. Each of the hierarchy are being provided with a description to describe the content of the file. Then we move on to preparation guide for file classification code. Every function, activities, sub-activities and files are arranged hierarchically and it should be coded based on the block number system that been recommended by ANM. Number 100 to 500 are for general housekeeping. For 600 and above, it is being classified for a specific function.
For method of classifying file reference based on code classification of new files, each file to be created by each department, school, center, institute, or unit need to have a file reference code. The details of the file reference code structure are as following. If the file is in confidential or big secrets, then code S for confidential, R for secret, RB for big secret must be placed after the code organization. Volume reference is made when the file has volumes and above. Of symbol, use of period symbol like hyphens or oblique or bracket are used to separate certain things. Following is an explanation of the use of symbols in the reference code. For symbol dash, the hyphen symbol dash is used to separate the function code number with activity codes in related category. For symbol oblique is used to separate the activity code with sub-activity code and transaction code from the main item to the main item as small as possible and separate the organization code with the code. The last one, bracket symbol, is used to indicate the number of letters contained in the file. For assigning reference number to staff files are created when an employee is hired. This file contains matters relating to a person, records or service staff. Providing staff file reference number is as follows. Filing system applied in Universiti Malaysia Sabah consists of two types of file, which are the first one is housekeeping, consists of 100 for pentadbiran, 200 for bangunan dan harta, 300 for pengurusan aset, 500 for pengurusan sumber manusia. This is the example for housekeeping files for 300 pengurusan aset. This is the example for housekeeping. The second one is functional, consists of 600 pengurusan universiti, urus tadbir, 700 for hal ehwal pelajar dan alumni, and 800 penyelidikan dan inovasi. This is the example for functional files for 700 hal ehwal pelajar dan alumni.
In conclusions, UMS has an open a lot of file and storing those files according to two categories, which are housekeeping and functional file. The housekeeping file serial numbers start from 100 to 500, while for functional file it start from 600 to 800. Overall, based on the analysis conduct on the filing system of UMS, it can be concluded that UMS has a good classification and filing system because all UMS files are well organized in the correct order.